Are you ready to make some ice cream? I got a really good recipe. Let me show you how it's done. Okay, this recipe gets mixed together in two parts, and we are making ginger ice cream, but you could actually do any flavoring in this custard and you would have your flavor of choice. So first we're going to take 8 ounces or 1 cup of cream, and I like to use heavy cream, and add to that 1 cup of milk. Okay, here's our 8 ounces of milk. Pour it into the cream container. Add that. Now you can use half and half, or I'm using whole milk too, or 2% or whatever, but you're not going to get the richness of the cream unless you use whipping cream and whole milk. The butterfat, you really need the butterfat for really good ice cream, especially homemade ice cream, because there are no stabilizers in them and they tend to ice up a lot quicker. For ginger ice cream, I really like this Spice World ginger because it is already chopped so fine and it's not a powder, and I do not have to then worry about little specks of ginger in my recipe, which would be okay, but not nearly as much fun. And it's very intense. I'm going to use about half the jar. Now obviously you don't want it to burn, so once you get your burner, and I use electric, if you have gas of course it's a whole different animal, but once you get your burner heated up, I will turn it back so we get our liquid boiling but not burnt. I'm mixing in that ginger, and then I'm just going to let it cook, and I'll be watching it. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to separate 4 eggs and put them in a bowl. The yolks, save the whites because I have another really good recipe for that. Now when you're separating your eggs, if some of the yolk should try to get into the white, you accidentally break the yolk, just stop and put that egg aside, because you want pure whites for the next recipe we're going to do another time. It's meringues, and if there's any yolk at all in it, they will not form up. So we're going to add 2/3 cup of sugar to our 4 egg yolks. Mix them up until they're nice and light. You can do it by hand until they're nice and light yellow. Okay, we're boiling, so we're going to turn that off, cover it, remove it from the heat, and next time I do this I probably will not separate the egg yolks until that's cool and ready for them, but since I already did, I put them in the refrigerator so we won't have any salmonella risks. Okay, last step, I'm going to put a little touch of salt in, which I forgot to do earlier, because here's our egg yolk and sugar and dash of salt. It should be thick. And we're going to add our cooled liquid, which is still warm, but it's cooled, to that, and refrigerate it overnight. I'll be right back. So we have slowly whisked our cream mix into our egg mix. And got that all thoroughly together, and then we're going to put it in a container and refrigerate it. So now 12 to 24 hours later, we're on to the last step of our super duper ice cream. We're going to put the custard into our, and now we're going to put a little pan in there, get the paddle, and it will turn itself off when it's done. It's going to take about 40 minutes, and I will show you how that looks then. Okay, it's done. Now this particular recipe, the cup of cream, the cup of milk, the 2/3 cup of sugar, the 4 egg yolks, the flavoring, it's going to make you a pint with that much more, maybe a third. One more time, showing you the consistency. See, it's like a really nice soft serve, and of course that will firm up in the freezer. And you want to eat it within a couple of days, only because it's going to get icy if you go too long with it, because it doesn't have any preservatives in it. But the more butterfat you use, the longer you can keep it, but who will?